So this is Whittet Kikuyu grass. I grew it from seed. It's, I don't know, a couple months old or so. I've cut it a couple times with scissors. This section of the pot isn't here because my cat pulled it all out of the ground. Right now we've got enough rooting that all of this is pretty safe. I want to show you what happens when we scalp Kikuyu grass all the way down to the ground. I'm going to use these scissors. I'm going to cut it all the way down here, and then I'm going to top it off with a little bit of, I don't know, some leveling agent to bring the level up. Kikuyu grass is extremely stemmy. This is an improved variety of Kikuyu grass. Most of the Kikuyu grass that you find in lawns, like my neighbor's lawn over there and some of the others in the neighborhood, is the common Kikuyu grass. This improved variety is going to be, I guess, nicer in terms of being a turf. So as you can cut it a little bit lower, it's going to be less stemmy. And even still, you see how crazy stemmy this is. So if I were to go ahead and cut this a couple inches down, you'd be basically cutting off all of the leaves and leaving all of this abrasive stem in place. I mean, this, I feel like I could just like bend it and it would just kind of like crack. Like it's abrasive, it's hard. I want to see if I can bring this down all the way to the base and make it, I don't know, make it seem nice. Just make it seem nice. So here we go. I'm going to cut it all the way down. All right, there's me after cutting it. I don't know, with my scissors, I've cut it down, these stems down to about maybe half an inch or so. I'm gonna go ahead and top this off with something. I don't even know what. I gotta figure out what I got in my garage. All right, I've decided I'm gonna add a little bit of this Harvest Supreme soil amendment, chicken manure, compost, and worm castings. I was thinking about using sand, but I'm out. I'm not gonna go to the store and buy some. I'm just gonna use this.
Can I do this with you?
Yeah, for sure, man. Go for it.
I want to do that.
Yeah, let's do it together. Say hi.
Hi.
No, right here.
Hi.
Let's put it all on. Let's see what happens. All right, good. Okay, flatten it out. Yeah, very nice. Can you see any of the grass under it?
Yeah.
There's a little tiny bit right there.
Yep.
But it's all pretty much covered up.
Yep.
We call this leveling the lawn, right? Yep. Say, leveling the lawn.
Leveling the lawn.
All right, let's water it in.
I see just a little bit of it. Okay. Can I do that? Can I do it?
No, I got it. It's all done. We don't want to put too much water in there, just a little bit. It's all going to leak out the bottom. Do you think the grass is going to grow back?
Yeah.
You think it's going to look even better?
Yeah.
I think so too. Why? Because we scalped it.
Because we scalped it.
All right, it's been about 8 days since we scalped it, and I figured I'd give you an update here. There's my cat. My cat's butt makes appearances in these videos from time to time. I figured I'd show you what we look like after 8 days. It's just a little over a week. The next week will probably be a little bit more dramatic. I'm going to start cutting this to maintain a healthy level. Right now, we pretty much only have leaf material that has popped up. We've got little things still coming out, little tiny ones that are starting to emerge. Just use the other hand so you don't get shadows. All of this leaf stuff is going to get a little bit bigger, but the important thing to note here is this is almost 100% just leaf material sitting above the ground. All of the stems are now below the soil surface. I would estimate that I brought the level of this pot up about half an inch, maybe a third of an inch, because I cut it down, the stems down to about half an inch, and then I covered everything up so you could basically see nothing when we topped it off. But all of the leaves are coming back. Now everything is nice and soft and pleasant. So if this was a full pad of grass, it would be pretty nice to step on barefoot. So I'm going to continue maintaining this for a little bit. I might actually end up topping this off some more because this pot is nowhere near all the way full. So I'll probably do that off camera over the course of the next couple months or so and see if I can bring the level all the way up near the top so that I can have this as a good comparison pot of Whittet Kikuyu to to other things, everything else that I maintain here on the property. Based on this and my last experiment last year where I scalped a good chunk of my backyard all the way down to the dirt, that was common kikuyu back there, I'm going to wager a bet and say that if you have kikuyu lawn and you want it to look better and feel better, perform better, it's kind of going to be a bit like Bermuda grass, where you literally have to every now and then scalp it to the dirt and let it grow back as predominantly leaf material. Kikuyu grass is such a stemmy, abrasive grass, and it wants to put on almost as much stem as it does leaf. No matter how often you cut that thing, you're always going to have this like stemmy, abrasive layer near the soil. Every now and then, cut it all the way off, all the way down to the dirt. Use your weed eater, use your string trimmer, and just make a gigantic mess of your lawn. Cut it all the way down. If you want to level it, you can, but regardless, if you can bring that stuff all the way down to the dirt, it'll grow back as leaf material. It's going to be a nicer lawn. If you want to watch the other video where I scalped the kikuyu in my actual yard as opposed to a pot, I'll link to it right up here. And the vast majority of you probably don't grow kikuyu grass. So if you do have a lawn that you want to fix, make sure to take a look in the description down in the pinned comment as well. I've got a link over to my Fix Your Lawn. Where do I start series? Take a look at that, and I'll see you in the next video down the road.